Two major accidents in Beaumont on I-10 had traffic backed up for several miles yesterday. In one of those accidents, a man's pickup truck was hit so hard it flipped several times and ended up over a barrier. Now, thankfully, both drivers in these accidents survived, but that isn't always the case. 12 News reporter Jordan James is live tonight looking into why officials think these accidents keep happening.
Dejanique, it seems like every time you look up, there's a new accident on I-10, and one local police department believes it has everything to do with folks speeding and not paying attention, and they are preparing to take action. Surveillance footage capturing the terrifying moments of a truck going airborne on I-10 after being hit by a truck Thursday evening.
In that accident, I was surprised, even with the seatbelts, that the gentleman self-extricated himself with only minor injuries.
Vider Police Chief Rod Carroll believes this accident and others on I-10 underscore what has become a major problem: distracted drivers and speed.
Today we got higher speeds. You know, the speed on the highways used to be 55 miles an hour. Now we're doing 75 miles an hour. We have driver inattention with the cell phones and text messaging.
While TxDOT was unable to provide any crash data at this time, the agency did acknowledge their commitment to looking into ways to reduce what has become an ongoing problem.
Safety is our #1 priority, so we're always trying to come up with better ways to make our roads safer, different safety improvements we can do to our roadways.
Texas recently reached a grim milestone. Every day for the last 20 years, a Texan has died on the road, totaling more than 70,000 lives lost. That led to TxDOT officials launching an information campaign called End the Streak.
20 years is way too long to go without a death-free day on Texas roadways, so we're asking everyone to please do their part.
And Chief Carroll says his department plans to do their part as well, with the creation of a special traffic enforcement program.
Just watch your speed. I mean, speed's becoming more and more of an issue today in our accidents.
TxDOT says the best advice for drivers is to drive the conditions of the roadway and remember to practice patience while heading to your destination. For now, reporting here live in Beaumont, Jordan James, 12 News.
I was asking, how did my dad get hurt?
Do you wish that he was still here with us?
Yeah, but he is.
Through his spirit?
Yes.
Today, powerful witness statements in Minneapolis for the sentencing hearing of former police officer Derek Chauvin. He was sentenced to 22.5 years behind bars for the murder of Houston native George Floyd. This coming 13 months to the day after the former officer kneeled on Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes.
Outside the courthouse, they anxiously crowded around a loudspeaker.
The court commits you to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections for a period of 270 months.
As the judge sentenced former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin to 22.5 years in prison for the murder of George Floyd.
I'm not basing my sentence also on public opinion. I'm not basing it on any attempt to send any messages.
I'm taking this as a win for my community right now.
We still feel empty today. We feel empty.
Prosecutors had asked for 30 years in prison. The defense wanted probation and time served, arguing Chauvin was the product of a broken system and had zero criminal history. With Chauvin looking on today, a powerful impact statement from Floyd's 7-year-old daughter, Gianna.
If you could say anything to your daddy right now, what would it be?
It would be, I miss you and I love you.
Floyd's nephew and brothers also addressed the court.
My family and I have been given a life sentence. We will never be able to get George back.
Then Chauvin's mother spoke publicly for the first time.
My son's identity has also been reduced to that as a racist. I want this court to know that none of these things are true.
Chauvin himself stood up.
I'm not able to give a full formal statement at this time, but But very briefly, though, I do want to give my condolences to the Floyd family.
For some members of Floyd's family, the sentence is not enough.
Is 22.5 years enough?
No, it's not enough.
State guidelines recommended a sentence of 10 to 15 years for second-degree murder, but the judge said there were aggravating factors in this case, among them that Chauvin abused his authority as a police officer and that he killed Floyd in front of children.
It's unusual for a police officer to be convicted, much less get a sentence like this.
Now, this is far from over for Chauvin. His defense is expected to appeal the case. He's also facing federal civil rights charges. 3 other officers charged in connection with the death of George Floyd will go on trial for their state charges early next year. In Florida, search and rescue teams are locked in a painstaking uphill battle. They're using everything from heavy equipment to their bare hands to try and find anyone still stuck alive in that collapsed condo.
We have not found anybody else in today's search, but through the night we will continue, and God willing, there will be some good news later tonight or in the morning.
With an incredibly active scene today, a new federal presence has arrived. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, is an organization of specialized investigators for buildings. They'll work to figure out what caused the collapse.
We would want to collect and preserve any evidence that we think might be critical to helping us understand what happened in that building yesterday.
Now, NIST has only performed a full investigation 4 times in its history. That includes 9/11 and the aftermath of the Joplin, Missouri tornado. The attorney for the Condo Association says the structure just underwent its 40-year certification with improvements ongoing. Alrighty, taking a look at our roofing 911 sky cam over the city of Beaumont, now to Orange. Still pretty warm out there, but temperatures are dropping. Looking at the radar, Patrick, don't see too much rain happening.
No, just some isolated stuff, Dejanique, and that's pretty much what we're going to see overnight. We'll go with a 20% coverage just to cover bases, but you can see that shower activity in through Jefferson County, nothing to write home about, as that moist flow off the Gulf of Mexico continues. Otherwise, temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s outside. Modeling does show some isolated showers tonight, so we'll include a 10, maybe 20% coverage. Tomorrow, though, about a 40% coverage for the triangle. A little better chances up in the lakes area. Could get in the lower 90s. Then, if you're lucky enough, you'll get knocked down into the maybe upper 70s, lower 80s as a cooling shower or thunderstorm moves through, and then we recover late day. Rain chances going up, and we've increased our rain chances for Monday and Tuesday. Suffice to say, it looks wet. More on your Storm Tracker forecast coming up on 12 News.
Remembering WL Pate. Friends, family, and community leaders gathered at One City Church this afternoon for the longtime city councilman's funeral. He passed away over the weekend. The family says it was due to a rare lung disease. It was an emotional day as they shared memories of the man they knew as Bubba. Pate was remembered as a public servant who loved this place he called home, dedicating his time and talent to the community, his alma mater, Lamar University, and the Babes the Harris Museum.
If I could just say one thing, is that for a lot of men in this area, if they could come out and be half the man that WL Pate was, then Beaumont truly will be the biggest heart in Texas.
After the ceremony, a military tribute was held for the U.S. Army Reserve veteran who served for 27 years. Pate was 73. Right now, a Facebook post is gaining traction across Southeast Texas. A Beaumont server says what he found after picking up his last set of tips left him in shock. Cody DeRoche says he worked for Finch Hutton BMT since they opened last year. He recently decided to leave to find a higher paying job. But when he went to pick up his last day's tips, he found a gay slur written on a sticky note on top of the money.
I think I was more in shock whenever it happened, just like, are you serious? But I see the sticky note on the money and it says what it says.
The post gained traction, and that's how the owner of Finch Hutton says he found out about the incident. He posted on Facebook.
That is not part of the culture that we've created with Finch Hutton BMT. We have been so supportive of the LGBTQ community, and I am conducting a personal investigation, looking at security cameras.
He went on to say the restaurant will discipline if and when they find who was responsible for the note. But Cody says it's not just about the consequences. He doesn't want other gay people in the service industry to deal with situations like this. In case you missed it, Beaumont police are releasing more info about the main suspect of an officer-involved shooting earlier this month. They say Kimberly Wells drove her vehicle towards officers when they arrived at the Lindbergh Drive overpass for a welfare check. One officer was hurt. Other officers shot at her vehicle, hitting her several times. Wells was taken to the hospital but has since been released. Now she sits in the county jail on a $1 million bond. She faces 4 counts of aggravated assault on a public servant. A third person is now charged in connection with Samuel Olson's death. Dylan Walker was arrested yesterday, charged with tampering with evidence. He bonded out of the Jasper County Jail today. Walker is accused of helping move Samuel's body to that Best Western motel in Jasper. Police say Walker also came forward as the tipster who called in the location of Teresa Balboa. Now, both the girlfriend of Samuel's father and her roommate, Benjamin Rivera, also face a single charge of tampering with evidence. Rivera faced a judge and bonded out yesterday. Balboa is still in jail. To Jasper, where one man is dead after an early morning house fire. The Jasper Volunteer Fire Department responded to a house on Highway 96 at around 6:30 this morning. Officials say the victim was found dead inside. No word on the identity or the cause of the fire. A Beaumont man charged in a 2019 robbery pled guilty in court today. In a plea agreement, Antonio Nunn has been sentenced to 7 years in prison. In 2019, the then 17-year-old took part in a robbery at an AT&T store in Beaumont. Police say he and 4 others were involved.